Welcome, everyone. It's so good to see so many faces here. Amazing. Hello, John.
Good
Hello,
evening.
everybody. Welcome to the weekly funnel forging call. My name is Tamara. I host the weekly call here. And this week we're going to be going over the membership feature inside of sales process. Now, before we talk about the membership feature, we want to talk about how this can affect your overall business, right? So inside the membership feature, there's a couple of areas that we can talk about. We can talk about the areas where you create courses and the areas where you create community, right? And so this evening or today we're going to be going over the membership area for courses, and we're going to talk about a lot of the features and a lot of the tech that is involved in setting all of that up inside your account. But the reason this is such an important feature for business owners when they're using their sales process is because it is another way for you to create that authority and create that extra revenue stream for you to sell your courses and your knowledge, right? Your training, your expertise. So this is another way that you can sell inside of your sales process account. So we are going to get started. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to dive into all things membership. Okay, so I have a demo account here in sales process. And the very first thing that I want to talk about is sort of all of the areas that you need to take into consideration when you're building your membership area. If you notice on the left-hand side here, you'll find your memberships here. And at the top, you're going to notice there's courses, communities, certificates, and Go Collab Marketplace. I'm just going to go over these areas just lightly this evening. What we're really going to be diving into is the actual products and setting up a course area in your membership. But basically, you would build your courses in this area here, your communities in this area here. You can also create certificates for your programs in this area here. And then Go Collab is a brand new feature that allows you to share your community that you have built inside of sales process out into the public. Go Collab is an area that is the traffic that's being driven there is being driven by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. If you know them, they are some very big marketing names in the industry. And they actually host all of their communities on there. And so the point of the Go Collab Marketplace is to actually be in direct competition with School. So School is Alex Hormozy's big community software that he uses. And Go Collab is what Tony and Dean use. And so you have the opportunity here to share your community with the public that also is using Go Collab Marketplace, which means that your community can be discoverable on this platform. So we will dive deeper into this in a future training, but I just wanted to point this out here, and this is something that you can think about and maybe create a strategy around for expanding the community that you've already built in sales process. So part of memberships is the courses, the communities, right? The other piece of your membership area is what we call the client portal. Now, your client portal is actually in a different area. It's in your sites area here inside of sales process. So if we go to sites, you'll notice here that up here is your client portal. And if we click on the dashboard, you'll notice here that you will either have a custom domain for your client portal or you will have a system generated domain. Now you can change that at any point, but this is basically the link that you're going to use to give to your members for them to be able to sign in to their courses and to your community. So let's take a look. I'm just going to copy this and I'll put it inside of another window. Sorry, my screen's jumping around here for a sec. There we go. Whoops, I didn't copy it properly. Hold on a second. Copy. And this is what the basic client portal looks like. You have the opportunity to brand all of this inside of the client portal settings. So you are going to give your portal a name. You can have a small tagline. You can add your company logo. You can brand the colors of the buttons. But basically, this is what the client portal looks like. And this is how your clients will be able to log in to their portal. So let's go back into sales process. And I just want to point out the different areas here. So this is your dashboard. On your dashboard, it's going to tell you how many users you have using your client portal, how many have been invited. It's also where you can grab your magic link. So a magic link is something that somebody can use, a contact can use inside of your sales process account. If they exist in there as a contact already, you can generate a magic link for them, and it will, by clicking on the link, they just can log right into their account. They don't have to set up a user, or they don't have to put in their password. Okay, so that's what a magic link does. What it does is it recognizes their email address as somebody who has access to this area, and it lets them in right away. This is where you can invite contacts to your portal. And so here you would just choose a contact that you would invite, and then you would send them an invite. I'm not going to do that, but that's what you would do. You just choose which contact you want to send an invite to. And then if somebody, for some reason, doesn't get their login email, you can resend it to them here just by clicking on send and choosing their name and hitting send email. And that will send them another login email, because we know that lots of people, it either ends up in spam or they lose it or they can't find it, right? So here's where you can regenerate that login email. In here then, up at the client portal, we're back here into settings. And the settings is where you can customize your domain. This is where you would set up your custom domain. So for myself, I had already set up a custom domain, and I had just created a subdomain with my root domain. So I had put members.testtamara.com. Otherwise, you have this system generated domain if you don't set up a custom one, which is fine. It's just nice if you're able to brand it, and it's something that that represents your business, right? So that's your domain setup area there. Then you have all of your branding in this section here for your client portal. Here is where you're going to give your portal the name. Here's where you're going to put a tiny description. Now you only get 50 characters. It's not very long, so it does have to be quite short. Then you're going to choose here your brand colors, and just by clicking on them, you would put in your hex codes here for your brand colors. And we'll just change those up. Here it talks to you about your favicon for your business. Now your favicon is this little symbol that shows up here on the tab of a browser window, or if they bookmark it. So it tells you the size that you need for your image here. So you can create this in Canva or in Adobe Illustrator or wherever you create your graphics. It tells you here, and you can just upload it. The next one is the portal image, and I'll just show you that again, what that image is. Oh, just one sec. I gotta move some things around here. Here we go. The portal image is this blue block that sits behind the title. So you can choose to just you can just upload a green square or a red, whatever your brand color is, or you can actually have an image in there. So it's up to you. Then of course it tells you again the dimensions for all of the images that you can put in. It also tells you about the logo. So the logo here is just tiny, and it will sit just above here. and it will just be a tiny logo. So a lot of times, instead of your full logo, sometimes you want to use your like submark, or even, you know, a bigger version of your favicon, if that makes sense design wise. Then you can also input here your support email address for clients or customers to be able to email you. And then here is your copyright line that you can put in. You do have the opportunity here, if you know code, you can put in custom JavaScript, CSS, and any sort of tracking code that you would want to put in there. That's in the advanced settings of your branding section here. Okay. Once you have your branding all set up, your client portal is pretty much set. Here you have some app permissions. Your app permissions basically tell what your clients can see inside of the client portal. So if you don't have communities, you don't want to check that off, right? If you don't have affiliates, if you don't have your affiliate manager set up, you don't want to have that on. So you're going to come and check those off. And if you don't want them to have access to see their billing and subscription data, you can shut that off as well. And then here, when they log in to the client portal, you get to choose, where do they land? Do they land on the home page? The home page inside the client portal is like landing on your Facebook profile. That's what it's like. So it's got their picture at the top, and so that's considered the home page. Or you can have them land on their courses that they have access to. Now, if I had checked off communities and affiliates, I'd also be able to choose from those as being the landing page when they sign in. If you have a communities section inside of Sales Process, I highly recommend that be your landing page when someone signs in for their client portal, because then right away they are in the community, they can see any updates or new posts that have been posted when they log in. And that really is the apps permission section. And then here are your email settings. You can customize these because we all know our email boxes are incredibly busy and noisy, right? So here you can decide what you want them to receive email about and whether or not they get an email at all, right? So there's for communities and there's also for certificates. And this feature is something our development team is always working to create and just make better. So we really like to put the control in your hands so you can decide what your people experience in your community. If they're getting bombarded by emails, that's a really good way to, they probably won't stay very long, right? And it is important to remember that right up here it tells you that every email that you have set up to send out, you are charged for. So there is a charge. It is included in your email sending. So it is part of that charge as well. So just to make sure you know about that. So the client portal is an important piece of your overall membership area because this is the page that they land on to get inside, right? So that's really where you want to start. You want to start sending, or you want to start setting that piece up for your membership area. And then we also have what is called a branded mobile app. This is something that you can create in here and set up. It is an extra charge inside of Sales Process. I'm actually not even sure what the fee is. Let's see. So get started, if we click on 6, it's $79 extra a month. And what this allows you to do is to actually put on a mask over top of the Sales Process app and make it look like your own app. So you can completely brand it with your logos, your images, all of that. And if that is something that is of interest to you, you can go ahead and set this up here and you can subscribe to that. So that would allow your customers to experience a very branded app. Does anybody have any questions about the client portal or anything that we've gone over so far? Feel free to unmute or put it in the chat.
Yeah, I have a public group created under communities. Now I
Yes.
want to invite all of my contacts to join the community. How do I do that?
What I would do in this case, John, is because I wouldn't go through here to settings, dashboard. I wouldn't do it through here because it's per email address, right? So what I would do is I would set up a workflow to send them, or just send them an email campaign with a link for them to join the community.
Okay.
And then
Thanks.
they can join, and you'll receive notifications upon them requesting to join the community. That's what I would do, and send it to your email list.
Awesome.
Okay. So part one of this is your client portal, getting that set up, getting that branded, getting that looking the way that you want it to look. The second part of it is inside of memberships, okay? So inside of your membership menu here, we talked about the course. We're going to dive deep into the courses today here, but there's communities as well, right? So this is where you can go and set up your groups, your settings, and your branded mobile app if that's something you want to do. Inside courses, what we're going to do is we are going to actually start with a product. I really wish that we would rename this. Instead of a product, call it a course, because that's really what it is. That's what you're setting up. You're setting up a course area. So we're going to click on products, and you're going to see I have a bunch of examples set up in here. But what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the process of actually setting up a brand new course inside of this area. So we're going to go over to this button here and click Create Product. Now you'll notice there is an option to start from scratch, or you can import anything that you have over on Kajabi. If you have your courses living over on Kajabi, you don't have to rebuild them inside of Sales Process. You can actually import them from Kajabi. Now, the development team is trying to work with other learning portals to create the ability to import other courses that way, but currently we only have the capability to do this with Kajabi. So for this demonstration, we're going to go and do start from scratch. And then what you're taken to this page where it says build a sprint course, a marathon course, a membership, or build your own. And basically what these are templated outlines of how you want your course, what you want your course to look like. So I encourage you to just go ahead and take a look at these. If you wanted to do a sprint course, it would have a shorter outline than something like a marathon course, right? Marathon to me means long. So that's if, and we'll take a look at the marathon course. That's what we're going to set up today. There's also a template for a membership course. And so you can use these templates, or you can use this one, build your own, start building from scratch, basically. Okay. So I'm going to actually choose the marathon course. I'm going to click on start building. Right away, it's asking me to give it a name. So I'm going to go give it the name of my course, and then it's going to create the outline. So here is the outline of the marathon course. So it builds all of these gray pieces here are called categories or modules, and each of these are called lessons inside. Okay, so you can have many categories and as many lessons as you want. How can you edit this once you have it set up? You just have to click on it. It will open up and you can change the category title. You can add in a description. You can decide which one is my root category. Over here, it's going to tell you the visibility. Have you turned it on? Is it in draft? Is it locked? What does locked mean? It's the category will become locked for your members till the selected post is completed. So this means that they have to complete the post prior to the one that is locked for it to become unlocked. Okay? Or you can set it up in drip mode, which means the category will become available to your members on a specified number of days after they acquire the product. So let's say you were doing a 90-day challenge and every week you dropped new content to them and you didn't want them to rush ahead. You only wanted them to receive the content as the challenge was going on. This is a feature that you could use, and you would set the number of days in between when this content would drip. So if the person started it and then they had a week to finish module 1, you would put here 7 days from when they start, they would get access to this next piece. Okay? So that is dripped mode. Now, in here, it has the contents, which are your lessons. Okay, and we're going to dive into those in a second. But I also wanted to show you here, this is how you can build out and really create some design as part of your course. Here it tells you the size of the graphic that you can use as a thumbnail here, and you can choose just to upload a new file in this size to create the category thumbnail. Okay, so once you have all of this set up, I'm just going to put some stuff in here. You're going to be able to save it, and then the category is updated. So we would go back here, and then we would go into the lessons. Now I want to point out here, this here is telling us that it is in drip mode, because remember I put it in drip mode. But there are other, you can change them to any one of these. So if it's published, if you want to leave it in draft mode so people don't see it, locked or dripped, you can do that here. And then the lessons, when we click on a lesson, this is what it looks like. Okay, so you can upload video here. Unfortunately, at this time, we can only upload one video per lesson. You can also upload an audio file. You can decide to publish it or leave it in draft. So that way you can use draft so that you can build your course as you're going. So they can't see it until you publish it, right? Your students can't see it till you publish it. Here is your lesson thumbnail. Again, you will want to create a thumbnail here for this to be probably like the title of the lesson. And then it tells you the image size that you need. And then you have this text editor here, and you can put any sort of instructions. You can create graphics or pictures that you want to include inside of the description. You can add those here. And right here is where you would add any sort of PDFs or workbooks or texts that you want to add in here for them to have access to. And this is just, you're just uploading it here. Okay? And you can always come in and also preview, what does this lesson look like? So if we look at it right now, we're not going to see much, but we're going to see this is what we see right now. We have the opportunity to make this look better in the design section of this, but right now this is what we see. If I had uploaded a video, let's see if I have any videos. Let's do this one. And I can upload that. And then I can save it. And then I'll preview it. Then you can see the video sits here. And I'm in this lesson, so this lesson is highlighted. Okay? And then you have your Mark as Complete button as well. So that is how you would set up a lesson inside of your module. You also have the option here to use the current frame as a thumbnail if you want. Okay. I want to come back out here though to the outline of the course because there's a few details in here that are going to be important. So this is the outline. Then we have here the details. This is where you're going to upload an image, and this is going to be your library image. Now, remember when I showed you, if I go back to products, this is what I would see in my library. So this is the library image that we're looking for, okay? So if I go back to that, and I go in here, that's what we're looking for here is that library image. Again, it tells you the size. Here is where you can go in and customize things. This is where you're going to put in your instructor information. So if we look at this here, it says instructor's name, and it says that there. So this is where you can customize. You can upload a headshot of the instructor. You can put their name, their title, a little bio about them. You can upload your logo here, your favicon image, and it tells you all of the recommended sizes for those images. And then here is advanced, where you can add custom CSS, custom JavaScript, and again, head tracking and footer code. Okay. Now, here inside of the Customize menu, we have the option of 4 different templates. The one that we're looking at right now is a classic template. And let's say we want to preview these before we make a decision about the template. We'll come in here and we'll hit preview. And this is going to kind of show us what it looks like. Now we have the opportunity to change all of this stuff, but this is what we're looking at here is the layout. And so what we see is that we're going to see this is your progress bar here. This is where your instructor sits. This is how your modules are presented, and then your lessons sit here in this template, okay? Now, let's say we want to look at this one. This is the New York template, and it's going to be different. It's going to show you this header here. All of this, again, is customizable. Here's your progress bar. It goes right across your entire screen. Then you have your modules, and your modules are shown in this format here. So we would click on a module, and this is the format that is shown in the New York theme. So you have your lessons that sit here, your video sits here, your description here, and your instructor here, right? And you can toggle to the next lesson just by hitting next and previous, okay? Then the new preview, this template is a little bit different, and it's one that I prefer, but again, everybody's a little bit different, right? So here we have the progress bar at the top. We have our modules here, and our lessons sit in here, okay? And you can click on them and they expand, or you can make them smaller. And then this one is brand new. This is called a Neo Classic. And here is what we see when we use this. The modules are broken into sort of like the drop downs. And then you have your lessons that sit here. And your progress bar sits here, your instructor sits here. So you can decide which layout do you like the best. And if you want, you can change them around, right? So you can apply this template. Let's do this one. And then I can customize it. So when I click on customize, this is where I'm going to come into the theme settings in here, and I'm going to be able to make changes. So here's the layouts and then the sections settings. So if I wanted to change out the background of the header, I could do that. If I wanted to change and customize the styling of the lesson body, that's all done inside of the template for the membership model that you prefer, the course model that you prefer. Does anybody have any questions about that? No questions? Okay. Inside of here, so okay, we've created our product. We've set up our outline. Let's say we've loaded all of our lessons and our worksheets and our videos are all set up in here. Now, this product needs to be attached to an offer. This is probably the most confusing piece of this setup here. Once your product is created, you need to attach it to an offer. And the reason for this is because this is how you can bundle courses together, or you can just sell them on their own. But the offer is how it is sold through sales process. Okay? So if we are going to create an offer, we have the opportunity to create, let's say we're going to create a bundle offer. Okay? And we can choose the product, and we can put in as many products as we want into our offer. So what I'm doing is I'm choosing the different products that I've built in here. I'm going to say how much it's going to be. Is it going to be a one-time fee or is it recurring? So let's say that it's one time, and it's $19.97. Okay, this is your currency here. And this is always going to be based on your location in your business profile. So if you don't want to sell, so I'm located in Canada, so that's why it's pulling Canadian currency. But I usually sell in US dollars. So if I want to change this, I have to go into my business profile and change my country to the United States. Okay? And then you can put in a price text override. You can put in here what you want. You can put it in here as like your Black Friday bundle or whatever. Right? And you can also decide, do you need to test this or do you want this live payment mode? Okay? So you can test it first, and we're going to hit create. So now in here we have created our bundle offer, and these are the products, these are the courses that are included in that bundle. Now, here you'll notice it's always in draft mode. You have to physically come and put it into published once you're ready for it to go live. You can turn a toggle on for people to be able to use coupon codes if you want to sell from this area. You can also create a begin access specific date. So maybe they purchase it, but they don't get access to it until January 1st. So you can choose that and then choose which date they get. Oops, I'm going too many years in the future here. And we'll go January 1st. Okay? You can also restrict how many days they have access to it. So let's say you want to only give them 7 days access. You can set that up here and put in 7 days. And then after that expires, if they don't purchase, then they lose access to the offer. And again, this is where you would upload an image for this particular bundle. Okay? So you can save this. Now, you have the opportunity in sales process to either sell your offers and courses inside of your membership. And to do that, you have the checkout is always connected to the offer. So you can go into the edit checkout, and then you can change what this looks like, right? So you can put in your offer details, you can upload your images here. You can grab extra contact information. So probably for sales, you want to collect their address and maybe their phone number. So we'll save that, and that's going to change what that form looks like. And then maybe you have to put in a terms of service. You want them to agree to the terms of service before they purchase. You would put that in this section here in the service agreement. Okay. And so then once you have your images loaded and everything like that, you can preview what that looks like from your customer's end. And it doesn't look like much here because we didn't put any graphics or anything in. But basically, they're going to see here what they're purchasing, and they would read a description here. There would be probably a mock-up for them to look at. And you can also grab the purchasing link if you want them to buy through your membership. So remember I said you can purchase through the membership, or you can sell this through a funnel, right? You can also sell it in your e-com store. So there's different places that you can set this up for it to be sold. Okay. So now we've gone over products and offers. Inside here, you also have a section called Analytics. Analytics is going to show you any sort of progress people are making in the different courses. It will show if you want to have a quiz or some type of assessment at the end of a lesson, you can add that in, and it will show you the results of those quizzes or assessments. You can take a look at members. It will show you here all the members that have access to it, and it will tell you the last time they logged in, how many times they've logged in, what they have access to, and everything. So this is important information, especially if somebody ever comes to you and says, I want a refund, I didn't use the information. You can actually see whether or not they actually logged in and how much of it they consumed. You'll be able to tell that here. Okay. And then also in here, you have your revenue analytics. And so this would only be for products and offers that are sold within the membership. So that won't include anything that's sold through a funnel or through your e-commerce store if you sell them there. Just to remember that. Okay. Then the last piece of this that I need to talk to you about is settings. And this is really important because the way that I like to grant access to these things is by attaching them inside of our payments section here, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But you have to set this part up correctly for it to work. So inside of courses, in your settings section here, this is old. This is before we had a client portal. So you no longer want to set this piece up. You want to ignore that. You want to ignore your domain setup. And you also want to ignore the apps setting because this was from before we had a client portal. Okay. Now we have all of this lives inside of your client portal. So you can ignore this piece of it. And I just saw a comment come through. Let me just check. Oh, it's just AI. Okay. The piece that I want to point out here is the email settings. The email settings need to be turned on for your clients to receive their login information. Okay? So when they purchase, they're going to either get a system-generated email that invites them to log in and set up their password for the client portal, or they're going to get a template that you've created and attached here. You want to be sure that this is toggled on and this is toggled on. You can also turn this on. So if you plan to drip out somebody's course to them, if you drip that out to your students, you want to turn this on. And what that does is it sends an email when they gain access to that piece of the course as soon as it's live. So you can also turn that on. In this email settings section, you have the opportunity to either use a default template for these pieces, or you can create a template of your own and pull it in through the drop down here. It's important to have these set up and turned on though, because I'm going to show you how do I need to set up my product if I'm going to sell it inside of a funnel. How does my student get access? Now, before we had to set up a workflow, we no longer have to do that. If we have our email settings turned on properly, we don't have to set up a workflow to grant them access and get their login email out to them. What we can do is we can go into the payments and we're going to set up a new product in the products section here. And I'm going to set up a new product here. I'm going to call it Test Marathon Course, okay? And then you can put in a little description of what the product is. You can upload a image if you want. I only recommend doing this if you're going to sell it in your e-commerce store, because then that's the image it will pull through to the store. And I would, if you're not going to include it in an e-commerce store, I would toggle this piece off in the product creation. Then you can determine your tax code if you need to set up your tax categories. I usually just leave it as per global settings, but you know your taxes better than I do, and you know your countries, whether you have to charge tax or not. Then in the additional options, you have the opportunity to set up your statement descriptor here. So what do you want it to appear as on their credit card statement? Then you have here where you would set up the $19.97 price, and you can choose your currency here. And then here's some additional options here that I want you to be aware of. This is what we're going to do to turn on the membership activation when we sell our courses through a funnel. Okay, so we want to turn this on, and we're going to say which membership offer are they getting access to when they purchase this. Now, the reason we don't see my Black Friday offer here is because it's still unpublished. I left it in draft mode. I didn't publish it. So I would have to go back in and publish that before I would see it drop down here. So for this purpose, I'm just going to grab one of these and show here that I'm attaching this product to a course inside my membership, to an offer inside my membership, okay? Because I've connected it here, I don't have to create that additional workflow to grant them access to the offer. This step makes sure that I don't have to do that. This step is what's going to fire off that login email to them so that they can get that information and be able to set up their user profile in the client portal. Okay, so then I'm going to save that, and then that product is set up. So I now have my Test Marathon course set up, and this is the product I would use to attach inside of a funnel to sell it. Okay, And when they purchase it inside the funnel, they will get access to the membership client portal and also get access to the offer that they purchased, right? This here. Any questions about that? Because it can be quite confusing as to what goes where.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes,
Now, in regards to, let's say, if I want to sell in USD,
yes.
then I can change it at this junction.
You can change it inside of the payments.
Okay.
So payments and then go into products
Mhm.
and change it here. You can change your currency here.
Okay.
But to change your currency inside memberships,
Mhm.
you have to go into your actual business profile
Mhm.
and change your country
Yes. Okay.
to United States or
Got it.
whichever
Okay.
currency it is you want.
Okay.
Okay. Now the developers are they're working out those little bugs so that
Mhm.
it's more seamless across the platform, but that's how we work with it right now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Tamara.
Hey,
Uh, do you think me changing the currency to US will solve my problem of the Indian payment thing? Should I test it out?
well, I sent you an email just before we went live here. I
Oh,
heard
okay.
back from the developers and they
Oh,
have a temporary solution for you.
mm-hmm.
So take a read of that email. Let
Sure.
me know if that works. And
Done.
then if that doesn't work, we will try something else.
Done. Awesome. Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, as you know, we are doing homework, right? And the homework that you do is how you enter into the Sales Process Wins contest. Does everybody here know about the Sales Process Wins contest, or would you like me to go over what that is about? You can put that in the chat or you can unmute and let me know.
Yeah, can you go over it?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So we are having a contest and every month, so this is the ongoing contest. We're having a Sales Process Wins contest. And we'll go through and we will talk about what that's about. Our First of all, the first thing to make sure of is that you have joined the Facebook community. Has everyone here joined the Facebook community? The Sales Process Facebook community? Awesome. Awesome. That's great. If not, I will show you where you can do that after I show you this here. So what we're going to do is the homework for today is we have gone over memberships inside of your sales process account. And so what we want to do is within the next 24 hours, I would like for you guys to go and build your membership area. So I want you to set up your client portal with your branding. Okay. So I'm going to actually just escape out of here for a second and I want to show you what I want to see. I want to show you. So if we go to sites, remember, this is where you find your client portal. And if we go to settings, this is where you set up your branding, right? So I want to see your branded site. I want a screenshot of it. So how are you going to do that? You're going to set up all your branding in here. Then you're going to come and you're going to grab your link. Once you have all your branding set up, you're going to copy that link. You're going to put it inside of and you're going to take a picture. You're going to take a screenshot of this to show me that your client portal is set up. So it's going to have your title, your tagline, your branding, your logo is going to appear right here. You know, that piece will be set up. So that's part one of your homework, is to set up the client portal with your branding. and then you're going to include a screenshot here. And then the second piece of your homework is going to be, you're going to show me your outline of your product, your course. And it doesn't have to be 10 modules long. You can do one module and one lesson if you want. That's totally fine. Once you create one, you're going to know how to create 10, right? So you don't need to make them really long. Just give me a screenshot of this area here so I can see the outline. Give your module a name, give your lesson a name, and just take a screenshot of that and include those two screenshots in your post in the Facebook group. Use the hashtag sales process wins, all one word, and that's your entry into the contest. Now let's go over what the contest is all about, okay? So we're going to, the screenshot of your membership layout and the screenshot of your client portal login. Those are the two things that I need. And that's going to be hashtag sales process wins. Put that in your post in the Facebook group. That's your entry. Here are the 3 prizes that you can win. The first prize is an exclusive hot seat coaching with Peng Joon. So this is a 1-hour session with Peng Joon where he will dive into your offer, your sales funnel, your traffic strategy, all of that, and he would tell you what he would do if this was his offer. Okay? So this is an amazing first prize to spend that one-on-one time with Peng Joon. And you would also get access to the Internet Mastery Retreat that's live in 2025. This is happening in the first quarter of 2025. This is a live event that Peng Joon and his team are hosting. So you would get that as well. Second prize is a one-on-one traffic and ads strategy session with Marcus. Marcus is the genius behind all of Peng Joon's ads. He does all of the strategy. He does all of the, crunching all the numbers about what the stats mean, all of that. And he will review your ad performance and your targeting. He'll explore the insights on advanced traffic strategies, and he will give you a split testing technique to get a higher ROI. So you'll get a one-on-one session with Marcus. And you will also get a ticket to the Internet Mastery Retreat Live 2025. So that's second prize. Third prize is a ticket to the event. And I can tell you from someone who has attended many live events, this is really where the magic happens, is at these events. These events can be absolutely life-changing and business-changing because of the people that you meet and the content that you consume here. You really learn so much at these events. So third prize is a ticket to the retreat, which is happening in Q1 of 2025. So in the next 24 hours, you're going to post your homework in the Facebook group with those 2 screenshots that I showed you. And then at the end of the month, the team will announce the 3 winners. So the end of November, we'll announce the winners inside the Facebook group. Okay, so you have to complete this homework within the next 24 hours and make sure that you post that inside the Facebook group. And then upcoming homework. So we have homework given out every day, 5 days a week at the office hours. These are the office hours that happen every week. I host office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm here for Funnel Forging and CRM Connect every week. And then we have other hosts that come in for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we will all be assigning homework, and that's your homework to get entered into the contest. Does anybody have any questions about the contest, about anything that we've covered tonight? Okay, Kate says, yeah, can we export and integrate the course into any third-party platform? No. So your course program can't be exported into another platform. Question number 2, is there any limit in the total courses we can create? No, there is not. You have no limits. The only kind of limits that you will experience inside of the membership area are going to be your file sizes. So we have a I always get these mixed up. So hang on. We have a 4 gigabyte video file size limit that you can upload at one time. So in each lesson, you could load a file size as big as 4 gigabytes. So that's the only sort of limitation that you're going to find inside of what you can upload. And then question 3, email service functionality. In the training last night, there is no add service function under, okay, so that's a little bit outside of what we're doing tonight, but I am happy to stay on with you, Kate, at the end here, and we can take a look at that, you and I together, if you'd like. We can look at that inside your account. Any other questions or comments about the training that we did tonight or the contest that we're running?
Tamara, this I was making an automation and it had lesson completed, chapter completed, and all that. There was also task completed. Is there a place where we can assign tasks to a student?
Oh.
In the automation, I saw that.
Yeah, do you want to share your screen and show that to me? Because they're dropping new features all the time. I can barely keep up sometimes.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me load that page.
So what John's referring to here is you can gamify your course inside of the workflows if you want. You can assign people points. You can send out special messages when they complete certain sections. So what John is doing is gamifying his course, actually, which is really exciting.
So I was actually thinking of doing like a morning ritual task checklist that they could do kinds. So here, when I complete
okay. So this here,
this one
completed. Now we have tasks inside of sales process that you can assign to internal team members, but not to students.
Right.
So that's what that's referring to. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So, any other questions? Everybody feel good about the homework? I want to see you guys win these prizes, please.
I've
Go
completed
into the
it.
Facebook group and crush it. Like, I want to see you guys win, okay? And you can always come back if you know, as you're going through the homework and something stumps you or, so, you know, it is recorded. If you want, I could send you, do you want to drop, you can choose in the chat, you can send a message just to me, just to the host. If you want, you can drop your email in there to me, and then I can send you the link to the recording if you want, because it takes so long for the team to get it up that the 24 hours is past sometimes. So I can definitely email anybody who wants to receive that. Okay, I'm going to copy that. Perfect. Let me just grab a note here and grab your guys' email address. And I will send you the link. Oops, hold on. Make sure I get everyone here. And I will grab this last email. Just one sec. Okay, I have everyone's email. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 emails. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 emails. Yes, perfect. Awesome. And I will, as soon as this is recording renders, I'll send you guys an email with a link to the recording. And that way we don't have to wait for the team to get it up. You'll have it right away. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Kate, hang around. You and I will dive into your question about email after this, and we'll get you sorted on that end. Thank you guys so much. Good luck in the contest, and we'll see you guys on Thursday.
Thanks so much. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Kate, do you want to share your screen with me and we can take a look at your email issue? I'm just reading it over again. Email service functionality in the training last night. There's no add service function. Okay, so you guys were setting up your custom email domain in the homework last night, correct? Oh, yes. Yeah, I can definitely hold. So if you share your screen with me, then I'll be able to show you. We can walk through and see what's happening in there. I'm actually going to pause the recording too.